A man that nobody had heard of until 3 days ago, Oliver Anthony, just went viral and now has the #1 song in America, top of the charts in the country.
These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Why aren't we looking out for the miners, M-I-N-E-R-S, the coal miners, and not just the miners, O-R-S, on an island?
If you weren't plugged into the internet for a brief moment, you might have missed the whirlwind of events. Over a single weekend, Oliver Anthony transformed from an artist in the shadows to a country sensation. And not just that, he might have been a voice adopted by the conservative movement too. But how did he get so famous overnight? Well, not all thanks to his voice and talent.
What's most interesting about this phenomenon is not the song. Everybody's saying, oh, this is the greatest song in recent memory, and this guy's a musical genius.
In the rolling hills of Appalachia, where hard-working folks have faced struggles for ages, a song has taken the internet by storm. This song is called Rich Men North of Richmond, and it's made people talk a lot. It made its debut on August 8th, 2023, and by August 17th, it had gotten over 18 million views on YouTube. At first, the song might sound like a song for regular folks like you and me. It appears as a rallying cry for the working class, aimed squarely at the powerful and politicians. It tackles themes of trading dignity for wages, external forces holding sway over our lives, and the struggle of a working person's dollar. If you're one of the 9.2 million people who watched Oliver's Rich Men North of Richmond over the weekend, you might have felt a connection. But before this, Oliver, whose real name is Christopher Oliver Lunsford, wasn't a well-known musician. He spent most of his adult life working in factories and grappling with mental health issues and alcohol. But everything changed after this song. In a flash, Oliver became famous, characterized by his striking appearance, a fiery red beard, a rural backdrop that claims an off-grid lifestyle, and a distinct voice with a rustic twang. All of this leads you to think, what exactly about this song has people on the edge of their seats?
Don't think that what is making this song go viral is necessarily the lyrical content of it.
You might have expected a song like John Lennon's Imagine, which talks about everyone being friends. But no, Oliver decided to hit the bullseye, because when we look closer, things aren't so simple. This song covers a lot of topics, some quite inappropriate ones too. The basic theme reveals regular people working hard and feeling like they're losing hope. But as we continue to listen to this masterpiece, things take an unusual turn. That too, in a very unorthodox way. So we are going to explore the story behind this song by Oliver. At first, the song seemed like it would join the ranks of famous protest songs by artists like Johnny Cash and Woody Guthrie. These songs sing about the troubles of regular people, criticize the rich and powerful, and talk about fairness. But Oliver's words are not very clear. He talks about common sense and the need for people to talk more.
A lot of people know that. It's common sense, but we don't talk about it enough. Maybe that is the problem today, is we just don't talk enough common sense anymore.
He thinks people aren't making much sense these days. But let's look at his words more carefully. Here's a part of the song. I wish politicians would look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
Wish politicians look out for miners, and not just miners on an island.
At first glance, the lyrics are like old stories, telling about people who don't have much and asking for things to be fair, just like in the Bible. The lyrics talk about people who get help from the government to buy food. The song continues, we see folks in the street hungry and beat, while the overweight get help. If you're big and round and you weigh 300 pounds, Texas shouldn't buy your treats on the shelf. These lines bring back memories of the past, reminding people of their own stories. Oliver's song, even if it didn't mean to, made this worse by talking about people on welfare in a not so nice way. He talked about people needing help but feeling ashamed because they need it. Even if the help is received, the shame and the feeling of doing something wrong are still there. Some parts might be a bit confusing, but one thing is clear. Oliver is not happy with how things are. He talks about politicians not helping regular workers and people who are hungry. Now this is where things start to get tense. The song, which seems like a working class anthem initially, shifted its focus to criticizing overweight individuals on government assistance.
People in the street don't have any food, but the obese are milking welfare.
However, some might think his words are blaming those people for their problems. But more than that, there are references to Jeffrey Epstein and trafficking of minors.
Why aren't we looking out for the miners, M-I-N-E-R-S, the coal miners, and not just the miners, O-R-S, on an island, referring to Jeffrey Epstein. Very clever with his lyrics that he wrote.
The message isn't hard to figure out. Taxes are criticized, overweight individuals receiving government assistance are scorned, and there's a suggestion that certain politicians are involved with inappropriate activities involving the underage.
I think one of the worst things that a human being can do is take advantage of a child.
While Epstein's horrific actions are undeniable, the song simplifies the situation in line with the right-wing viewpoint. In the end, this song is making people talk about many things. Some like it because it feels real, but others think it targets the forbidden issue.
It touches base on human trafficking.
Oliver's song is like a puzzle, and everyone might see something different in it. The lesson here is that the words are important, and songs can mean many things to many people. But even more important than that is courage. Courage to fight for change.
Everything can change in a moment. As long as you're above the dirt, you've got a fighting chance.
Oliver hopes that his words can make people see things that not everyone has the capacity to bear. The ugly realities of society, the gray areas of this world. This is probably why ever since the song came out, it's broken all records of popularity. Oliver's song not only dominates the country list with a notable 18 out of 40 slots, but also secures the 9th position on the US Spotify Top 50. However, the irony lies in the fact that until recently, Oliver's name remained relatively obscure. Even though he had managed to gain a modest following through home-recorded tracks, a stark comparison arises when examining his Spotify monthly listeners. With 889,435 listeners, he stands at a mere 8% of Jason Aldean's colossal 11 million. Now the question lingers, what fueled this unprecedented surge? It can't possibly be the talent of the singer or the verses only.
It's a daunting task for a man who has been singing straight from the heart, and it's hard to just crank that stuff out.
The answer lies with conservative circles. What is even more insane is that there are speculations of involvement of influential parties that has contributed to, more like propelled, the song towards the audience, with the purpose of bringing to notice some hard-hitting realities of the society. Despite Oliver's claim of neutrality in political matters, influential right-leaning figures such as John Rich, Carrie Lake, and Matt Walsh played a significant role in bringing the song to the limelight. Matt Walsh especially said the song is popular because it's real and genuine. It appears that certain renowned politicians have taken him under their wing. There's even an unconfirmed rumor that Oliver might be a conservative industry creation fueled by the online right-wing movement. This wave of support demonstrates where his vocal backing stems from, and also explains how an ordinary singer was able to gain traction of such a vast audience with a few verses. However, it's important to note that conservative influencers aren't the sole champions of Oliver. His music and talent have drawn millions of views with supporters from various walks of life. But here's the thing. While Oliver's voice is good, the song's popularity is not just about that. He might have been used as a pawn in a hidden game. While all these speculations were running through people's minds, there was also an attempt to slide this matter under the rug and bring the spotlight solely over what the song wanted to deliver. In a hideous attempt to cover up, Oliver was put forth to share more of his story with the audience, so the audience could give credit to that genuineness and talent, instead of what went on behind the scene. Oliver unveiled more of his story, sharing that he turned down offers worth $8 million from big music labels. He seemingly received lucrative offers for record deals right after his song gained popularity.
Apparently somebody got a hold of him and said, you know what, we love your song, we'd like to give you $8 million, and you know what he said? Not interested.
He even went to meetings with these record labels. However, Oliver's reaction was quite unexpected. He doesn't seem to be a fan of fame or luxury. He explained that he created his music during a time of mental health struggles. And
I had wasted a lot of nights getting high and getting drunk,
so he could connect deeply with listeners on a personal level.
I started getting messages from people saying like how much the music was helping them.
This revelation emerged in a new Facebook post where he poured out his thoughts, reflected on his song Rich Men North of Richmond. In a letter that might be described as lengthy, Oliver opened up about what he anticipated when he created the song.
You know, it touches on my time in Western North Carolina working in the factory. It talks about some people that live north of Richmond, Virginia.
Then, he started to fill in the gaps of his life's timeline, showing us the moments that shaped him. Oliver's timeline became clearer as he opened up about his life. He shared that he dropped out of high school in 2010, but later earned his GED. He worked in factories, enduring multiple plant jobs for $14.50 an hour, which he described as a living hell. In 2013, he suffered a fall at work that led to a fractured skull. After recovering, he shifted to a job in manufacturing sales. He also talked about why he uses a name that's not his own. Apparently, that is his way of honoring his grandfather, Oliver. More so, the song was in honor of his roots in the land that shaped his family's history, Appalachia. The authenticity of Rich Men North of Richmond still faces scrutiny, but the evidence so far points to Oliver as the true creator. Although some people sense a hint of a bigger picture, a hidden agenda of sorts, against the elites, which obviously not everyone has the power to speak against. Upon further investigation, Oliver's YouTube playlist titled Videos That Make Your Noggin Get Bigger raises eyebrows. It's a compilation of right-wing figures and conspiracy theories featuring individuals like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro, as well as 9/11 conspiracy videos involving Jewish people. Some of the theories within the playlist share similarities with the New World Order conspiracy theory, often associated with anti-Semitic beliefs. Though much about Oliver remains unverified, the pieces suggest that he leans toward right-wing ideologies. For now, Oliver stands on the brink of stardom. Rich Men North of Richmond and his other songs have soared to the top of the iTunes charts.
He's #1 Apple charts right
Yep.
now. He's #1 on Apple's Music Global charts, right up there with Taylor Swift and with Morgan Wallen.
Local shows are packed with enthusiastic new fans. It seems that not many people seem to care about the propeller or the force behind the song. Everyone is busy admiring the vocals and the composition, and appreciating Oliver's gesture to help people undergoing mental health struggles.
Last part of the song, it touches on suicide rates and really on mental health and depression.
Even though Oliver's place within this realm is not yet to be fully defined, it is a huge success for him as an artist to have impacted so many people with a few lines. As his narrative unfolds, Oliver's journey is far from over, promising to continue capturing the attention and curiosity of many.